Guess what? I'm not sponsored by Big Pharma either. I f***ing despise Big Pharma. I've spent entire segments, and I've been ripped apart by the neoliberals, by the way, for going after Big Pharma for so many a variety of reasons. You know, take your pick. Why don't we start with the fact that they spend more on advertising than they do in R&D, and while at the same time they take public funds in order to produce some of these life-saving vaccines, and at the same time they're just printing cash by perpetually, you know, making new boosters that we're going to need. And I'm not saying that it's not a necessary thing; it absolutely is. But these companies should be nationalized. I haven't actually seen this clip, but a lot of people told me to watch it, so I want to see what it's all about.
I mean, in my opinion, is very untalented, but she is shameless, so that gets her a lot of clicks and a lot of play, and the right finds her use. And
I spelled Candace wrong. Oh yes, all right. But can Candace Owens dance is the thing. Candace Owens. Candace sounds way funner, you know? Candace, I'd like to hang out with. Candace Owens, no thank you.
Useful. She is now peddling an insane conspiracy theory about the death of beloved comedic actor Bob Saget. You have to hear this and see it to believe it.
Oh, thanks, Castrix. I'll check it out after.
So, am I a conspiracy theorist or am I Nostradamus? The answer is neither. I'm just not on Big Pharma's payroll, and I refuse to peddle in their lies.
Ma'am, this is Wendy's.
And so to that end, today, I'm going to point out another truth, and it will likely be deemed a conspiracy theory until it's not.
What?
There are too many healthy individuals like Bob Saget who we know have...
She's vaccinated, by the way. She's been completely exposed as being vaccinated. She was in a stadium event. The stadium had a required vaccine mandate, and she has pictures inside of it. She's vaccinated. She's double, tripled vax, all that kind of stuff. It's just all 100% a grift. It's the monies, you know? That's what it all comes down to.
Have received their vaccinations who are dropping dead suddenly and unexpectedly with no further explanation. Healthy athletes, young students in their physical prime, the majority of them males, dropping suddenly and unexpectedly in the middle of games from heart issues.
Suddenly and
what we know for a fact is that these people are being mandated to take the vaccine. And we know for a fact that these vaccines come with a warning that they bring about myocarditis. But the media...
You know, I was surprised to see Nuance Bros on that train, because Nuance Bro, for all the things I make fun of him for, and obviously it's pretty weird now that he's all about like, hey, you know, I should be able to say the N-word, kind of weird arc that's going on there. He's doing the myocarditis thing. I was like, what? He's like reply guying to me. He's like, why doesn't anyone talk about how the vaccine can cause myocarditis in healthy adults and things like that? I was like, okay, I had no idea how far gone you were. Like now it all makes sense, you know? Guess what? I'm not sponsored by Big Pharma either. I fucking despise Big Pharma. I've spent entire segments, and I've been ripped apart by the neoliberals, by the way, for going after Big Pharma for so many a variety of reasons. You know, take your pick. Why don't we start with the fact that they spend more on advertising than they do in R&D, and while at the same time they take public funds in order to produce some of these life-saving vaccines, and at the same time they're just printing cash by perpetually, you know, making new boosters that we're going to need. And I'm not saying that it's not a necessary thing; it absolutely is. But these companies should be nationalized. So this is, I am no friend of the Big Pharma. Fuck Big Pharma. I can say that proudly. But at the same time, doing this whole like, well, why don't we bring up the fact that in certain cases it's shown, like, have you heard that AstraZeneca can cause blood clots? Why isn't anyone allowed to talk about that? Why am I not allowed to bring up the blood clots? And if I do, everyone says that I'm anti-vax. I'm not. I'm just saying we should be asking questions. Yes, you should. Again, this is something that is being used by millions and millions of human beings around the globe. So if you take any sample size of anything, there's no like perfect medicine. Like, are you going to give someone something that if you multiply it by millions and millions of people, a handful of them aren't going to have adverse reactions to? In fact, the amount of people who do not get adverse reactions from these vaccines is nothing short of astounding at how universally they seem to be applicable to the human body, and that is regardless of age. That is regardless of a whole bunch of factors. So to say that, like, yes, of course, there are cases where I can cause blood clots. That's why certain vaccines were even, like, you know, delayed in different countries. There's a variety of reasons, but if you compare it to the cost weight benefit to catching COVID and the effects of COVID, especially the effects of long-term COVID and all these other people who seem to be getting very adverse, like we just learned today that COVID apparently can shrink the penis in certain cases. It's not a thing that I would recommend for anybody.
Again, gaslighting the
We should educate them on the side effects of Viagra. Yeah, no shit. Fucking, have you looked at... Apparently, it's unusual, but a couple people are having cardiac arrest or a whole bunch of, blood circulation problems from taking this life-saving medication known as Viagra that allows them to have potent erections into the final days of their life. And I don't know, can I ask questions about that? It seems that I'm considered an anti-erectionist if I bring up the fact that Viagra can potentially harm a few people. I'm just trying to ask questions.
First of all,
so does COVID.
Yeah, COVID
Die hard.
actually has a it's more likely that you are going to experience myocarditis if you contract COVID, and myocarditis
True.
is caused by other diseases or like viruses like the flu.
Yeah, it's a common response to viral
Yes.
infection.
But continue, because apparently Bob Saget, she has intimate knowledge that he was mandated to take the vaccine. So
Yeah, the young, healthy soccer player Bob Saget. I mean,
Right.
no offense to Bob Saget, but like,
I mean, he was in his 60s. But continue.
mandated to take the vaccine. And we know for a fact that these vaccines come with a warning that they bring about myocarditis. But the media is once again gaslighting the public, pretending that to even take notice of this very alarming trend is a conspiracy. The problem isn't that healthy men are dying. The problem is that you're noticing it. Where are the fact checkers? All of this to say that I don't know why a healthy man who is in the middle of a comedy tour suddenly and unexpectedly drops dead in his hotel room. But I do know that we have a right to ask the question.
Just asking questions. Apparently Bill Burr had a response. I wanted to listen to it.
Just fucking, what a sad week. What a fucking sad week, man. Still have not even begun to deal with the shock of losing Bob Saget. It's just so fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. And the amount of dumb shit that people are saying. Is it the new thing now? Anytime a celebrity dies, like Betty White dies, and they go, that's because she got the booster. It's so fucking, they're just so fucking... Yeah, who the fuck knows Betty White on the internet? Some random fucking person. Oh yeah, she was hanging out with you? Like, how the fuck do you, none of these people know any of these people that they're fucking talking about.
Yeah, she was like 99 years old.
I don't know. But you got to blame modern medicine just for their existence. Because that's what has kept them alive, or their parents alive, so that they could fuck and then make them, so that they could then go on the internet and express their ideas.
So
you know,
true.
and build their brand and just cultivate this sea of fucking morons. Fucking morons, you know? And this is coming from somebody who went to summer school almost every year. I should have gone every year of high school, but I just quit in the end. Senior year, it's like, well, what's the point, man? So I can get into a little better community college? Anyway, but it's actually, I got to be honest with you, it's kind of a good thing to every once in a while be on the inside of something and then listen to fucking idiots who are on the outside and just watch them come up with these fucking theories. Everything, anything you do in this, TV shows, movies, documentaries, putting on a benefit. Somebody gets mad about something and comes up with this angle of fucking horseshit, and these people they just run with it. They just run with it, and it's the shit that they fucking. You know, there's people on the internet who speak for dead comedians, like they know what dead comics are saying and what they're thinking. People who never met them, constantly, will be fucking tweeting or will tweet to me about a dead friend that I have and what they're thinking. It's like, that is an amazing, amazing ability. I had somebody go like, you know, the fact that I've been listening to, I decided to go with the mainstream on this one, right? You know, and I don't give a shit if you've gone the other way. God bless you. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope it is just a cold. but I went with the mainstream one. Is somebody wrote, they told me with absolute confidence what George Carlin would be thinking of me right now. It's just like, well, gee, that's an incredible ability you have. Well, what would Abraham Lincoln be thinking? Can you do presidents too, or do you just do? Can you do dead presidents or just dead comedians?
It's true. I like that. Anti-vaxxers have modern medicine to thank for their existence, as it kept their parents alive so they could fucking make them. They can go on the internet, express their ideas. Owens said on our online talk show, healthy athletes, young students in their physical prime, the majority of them males, dropping dead suddenly and unexpectedly in the middle of a game from a heart issue. We have known that for a fact, is that these people are being mandated to take the vaccine. Mandated. And then they died. My word. Do you enjoy the Serfs, but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback, because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we beseech thee to smite down our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble court jesters, here to amuse you. To our lords, Trevor R., we give thanks for this spit of land for us to eke out this meager existence. To our knights, Merid, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Ellie Leslie, Alex P., Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, that one guy, Hagbird Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Yanis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our flag in a veil, and we salute you, our friends.